Welcome back. Today, on a very somber mini episode. It's dark days here in Atlanta area if you're a Braves fan. Gone is Jock Peterson and his pearl necklace. So long, so rare. And farewell to Freddie Freeman, the prize jewel of the offseason. I am Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. We switch gears today to talk about a few of the many offseason baseball transactions that have been taking place in the week or so since the MLB lockout has ended. You had some big names that moved teams prior to the lockout, like Javi Baez joining the Tigers and Max Scherzer landing in the Big Apple with the Mets. But as soon as the players and owners settled their issues, that's when the real craziness began. Joining me today is my friend and former Baseball Podcast Are Fun guest, Emily Cheek. Emily is a Braves fan, maybe the greatest Braves fan of all time. The news of Freddie Freeman has the longtime Atlanta first baseman leaving the team and the city to return to his home state and play with the Dodgers has rocked her to her core. Please welcome Emily Cheek. Hi, Emily. Would you like a Kleenex?
Hi, Greg.
Hi. Okay, we're going to talk briefly about some of the player moves, and then we're going to talk about Freddie. What do you think of Trevor Story getting a $140 million deal to the Red Sox?
I mean, I don't know much about.
No one cares about Trevor Story. How the heck did the Braves let Freddie Freeman walk onto the Dodgers, no less? Did you think that this would ever happen? Do you remember where you were when you heard the news?
When I heard the news about Freddie,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was at work and a coworker came over to me and he said, "Did you hear the news?" And I said, "No, don't. It's not true. It's not true." And he said, "Yeah, he went to the Dodgers for 6 years." And I started crying. And work sucked from then on. And I cried and cried and cried.
Real question, because even I know baseball is a business. Can you really blame Freddie Freeman for wanting to play for a team close to where he grew up?
No, I mean, I get the whole hometown glory that he wanted to, fulfill, seeing a hometown kid, like my sister was a hometown gymnast with UGA, and it's awesome to compete in front of your hometown. So I get that. I wanted to play for Georgia. I grew up 10 minutes down the field or down the road from the field. And it was a big dream of mine. So I totally get it. And I don't blame him for wanting to do the same thing.
What has Freddie meant to you?
Freddie's been Mr. Brave. You've got Mr. National with Ryan Zimmerman. And that's what Freddie has been to me. He was, Chipper Jones. He was hopefully going to be a lifetime Brave, and now he's not. And that dream is kind of shattered. And a lot of people think that it's trivial, but it's baseball. It's to me, it's been my life for upwards of 30 years, and I grew up watching the Braves, and I get attached to them. And Freddie was my favorite player. He still is, although he went to my least favorite team. So I'm gonna have to, swallow my pride and maybe get a Dodger jersey with Freeman's name on it. But he's meant a lot to me. He's been the face of the Braves. He's a class act, and he's just, I don't know, he's my favorite player, and it's sad to see him go.
Are you mad at Freddie or the Braves right now?
That question's been on my mind a lot. I get that Freddie wanted to go back to LA, and I think that he knew that all along. And he wasn't going to take a deal with the Braves, but at the same time, if the Braves actually wanted to keep him, they would have compromised, and we would have seen a deal made sooner. And I know there's a lot of stuff in the media about how it played out and how it went down, but nobody knows what went on behind closed doors. You don't know what happened. You don't know how it happened. And it's hard to be mad at either one.
I know you don't want to think about it, but the Braves appear to have a very suitable and younger replacement at first. The big-time signing of Matt Olson. Olson has spent the last 5 years in the A's organization, where he has turned into an all-star, and his numbers on defense are actually better than Freddie's. Plus, Olson grew up in the Atlanta suburbs cheering on the Braves. Does any of that help ease your heart's pain at all?
It does, actually. I read the stats and I saw the side-by-side comparisons, and I know that we're getting a great replacement. It's just, it's gonna take some time to get used to it. Going to Truist or Turner, when they were still playing at Turner, I wanted to see Freddie. I wanted to see the number 5 and see him play. And I get that the hometown thing is a big kick, especially with Dansby being from Marietta. I like that we have a couple guys that are from the Atlanta area. It's sad to see Freddie though.
The Braves also let World Series hero Jorge Soler and fan favorite Jock Peterson walk. Both are outfielders. Do their departures also upset you?
They do. We acquired them at the trade deadline last year, so I haven't had time to grow attached to them like I did with Freddie. I liked having the Jocktober pearls and everything, and a couple different guys to cheer for, and they were definitely a pivotal point was getting them at the trade deadline, and they definitely played a huge role in us winning a World Series title. But you can't hang on to all of them, and I get that a lot of the money was for is it Renly or Jensen, the
Kenley
coach,
Jensen.
Kenley Jensen. Yeah, a lot of that money was slated for him, and a lot of it was slated for getting Olson. So I get that we can't acquire all of them, but we got Rosario. He was the NLCS MVP.
I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. Weirdly, the Rays were heard to be in the Freddie chase, but lost out. In fact, so far, there have been no major gets by the Rays. Do you think it's silly that you're so sad when the Braves have some pretty good talent to defend their title, while teams like the Rays will have to spend another season hoping to squeeze most of their young, talented youngsters?
I mean, it is sad, but they're American League. I'm a National League gal. I don't really get into what's going on elsewhere except what's going on with my Braves and the NL East and those stupid Dodgers.
Speaking of Eddie Rosario, which you just said, are you glad that Eddie Rosario re-signed with the Braves?
I am, actually. It kind of worked out because in the off season when I was going crazy with all my memorabilia purchasing, I bought a Rosario jersey with a World Series patch on it. So I get to actually wear that now, and he's still a Braves, and I don't have to regret that purchase.
How do you think these trades and signings will affect the Braves and the NL East on the whole?
I mean, we're still going to be a force to reckon with in the NL East, but have you seen the lineup with the Dodgers? The power rankings, they're number 1. Like, I think that the NL West is gonna be a favorite, and they've already picked them to win the World Series from the power rankings and stuff. But with the Marlins getting Soler, they have a huge bat, a good outfielder. We'll see how the rest of it plays out. And my good friend is a player for the Nationals, so hopefully it'll be some good competition and it won't be one-sided.
Do you have anything else you want to add on the subject? Maybe a message you'd like to send to Freddie? He's totally a subscriber on the podcast. Or Braves ownership?
No, I mean, he didn't know me personally, and I don't know him personally, so I can't take it personally. I'm just sad that as a Braves fan, we won't have the face of the Braves anymore. We'll have to make do with Olson and get to know him, and hopefully he'll be a good replacement.
I normally am on a podcast with these rapid fire questions, but you've been a guest before. Instead, I'll just ask one non-baseball question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You recently saw the Batman last week. What did you think about it? Why is the movie so awesome? How about that Batmobile? Robert Pattinson is amazing, right? Is this the best Batman and Batman movie ever? Go.
I did enjoy it. I actually didn't fall asleep. It was a little long for me, but I stayed awake. I like Robert Pattinson as Batman. Still favor Christian Bale as my favorite Batman, but I did like it. I liked how dark the themes were, and I enjoyed the music, the soundtrack. We even talked about
Yeah.
the Nirvana song. Yeah, I like that. Overall, it's not my favorite Batman movie. I still Batman Begins with Christian Bale, but I liked it.
What do you think of the theme song for it? Just not the Nirvana song, the
You did a perfect reenactment of it. I like it. Yeah, it's fun, and in the Dolby Theater, it kind of shook the seats, and it added to the experience. So I liked it.
Moving sound.
Yeah.
The like the shaking of the seats and.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily, for coming on the show today. I know you're sad because I know how much Freddie Freeman and the Braves meant to you. Hopefully you can go cheer Freddie on in person when he and the Dodgers visit Atlanta the weekend of June 24th. Thank you to my fans for listening to today's special episode. And remember, you can help the show out by subscribing on Spotify and YouTube and following at Baseball Podcasts Are Fun on Instagram. Join me for the next episode when we'll be exploring the fun hobby of visiting all Major League Baseball ballparks. Until then, I am Grayson Knight, and this was Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya.